Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
We're going, huh? You're in the Minister X, you have described the Muslim movement as a religious organization, and you've said that there are a great many misconceptions about your attitudes and stated views and purposes. Could you tell us briefly what the basic tenet of the Muslim organization is?
Yes, we are Muslims because we believe in the religion of Islam. But Allah, we believe in one God, Muhammad as the apostle of Allah, and we believe in all of the prophets, all of the scriptures brought by those prophets, and then we practice prayer, charity, fasting, the same as is practiced in the Muslim world.
What is your attitude on the relations between the black and white races? What do you seek to accomplish?
Well, Mr. Muhammad teaches us that you never can force black people upon white people, and you never solve a problem by forcing anyone upon someone else, contrary to their will. And for that reason, he teaches us that integration will never work as long as you have to force it. So he has taught us that God has taught him that the best way to solve the problem that black people are involved in this country is to let us separate from whites and solve our own problems. Do for ourselves that which whites do for themselves. Stop begging the white man and stand on our own feet and solve our own problem.
Is it fair to say, as a generality and as a succinct way to put it, that you believe in segregation of the races?
No, segregation is that which is, Mr. Muhammad says that segregation is that which is forced upon inferiors by superiors. Separation is done voluntarily by two equals. You never refer to the Oriental community in which Orientals live exclusively as a segregated community, because they live there voluntarily. Everything there is controlled by them. The economy, the politics, the civic organizations, but the Negro community is referred to as a segregated community because Negroes are forced to live in that community contrary to their will, and they don't control the businesses of their community. They don't control the politics of their community, nor their social life. Segregation. But we do, Mr. Muhammad teaches us that we do believe in separation, standing on our own feet among our own kind and solving our own problems. And that's the only way you'll get a solution to the vital race problem in this country.
What about the attitude we've heard expressed many times that the Muslim...
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the No PC Show. Having a few problems with the Facebook side. Give me 1 second here. Let's see if we can correct them, or they can just move over to the YouTube side. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm not sure what happened there. We kind of dropped, lost the connection, and we are reconnecting. Okay, we back live on Facebook, or it'll be up in 1, 2, 3 seconds. Welcome back to Thursday night edition of the No PC Show. We're a minute or two off, but you know we still gonna get it in. Peace and blessings to everyone out here in the land of Chicago. The show tonight is called the Black Elephant in the Room. Let's stop pretending. And this show it's going to bounce here or there, but it's going to bounce in the right direction. When I say the black elephant in the room, it's referring to what we as black people are refusing to look at. And I think, no, I know that we are in a situation. What's up, cuz? I see you out there. Dante. We're not really facing the giants that have been out there since slavery in this country. And we want to sit around and pretend like these people aren't prejudiced, that they aren't against you, that is something that you may be doing or we may be doing that keeps us in this situation. It is a constant undermining of the culture of black people in America. Hence, we don't have a culture. And you'll find that out. Get you a couple of African friends and you'll find out what's missing from you. But those giants that we are pretending, or those black elephants in the room that we're trying to pretend don't exist, and we're passing the same sickness on to our children that was passed on to us now. I don't get on our ancestors. They did what they had to do in order to survive for us to have the little bit we have. But at a certain point, it was up to us as a nation of black people to stand together and build. And we figured, because we got some voting rights and civil rights bills, that made everything okay. And it did make everything okay. It just pacified those that were able to get into positions and benefit and get to sit closer to the master. Everybody else is about nation building except us. We help others build their nations. They use us for their existence, for their agenda, and for their future. And they tell us, you really don't have a future if you're not helping us build our future. And you have so many people that buy into it. You know, I don't knock education. Everybody needs an education. I was talking to an African brother the other day, and he was telling me how they stress having 2 degrees in Africa. How this is important, this is important, this is important. And then he comes to America to try to follow this American dream because of the conditions that exist in his country. And those 2 degrees are doing him absolutely no good here in this country. So he's working in a hotel situation. How come our education doesn't add up? And as I always say, why are we even paying for education? This is my whole thing with these politics. I personally don't believe in politics. It's hard to believe in a system that has gone out of its way to oppress us since we landed on the shores of this country. They have done nothing that makes it believable to say that you really have a real chance that they're not going to undermine you. Even with Obama, they got together along party lines and decided we're going to put this black man in office, but we're still going to pull the strings. Tell me, how do you sit as a black man, the president of the United States, sit in office for 8 years, and you never look at that reparation bill that's been sitting out there? It was sitting out there before he got in the office, and it's still sitting out there, and they refuse to talk about it. It's not even up for discussion. How dare you act like you want us to do something righteous for you all? America believes in racism, inequality, and incarceration. We're the most incarcerated. We suffer the most inequality, and most of the racism is directed toward us. So we're going to keep continuing to ignore the black elephants in the room, the distraction people, the people that will distract, like what's that, Candace Owens. If you're not on the YouTube side, you can go to YouTube, type in the show, all one word, and the No PC show, and it'll bring you to our site, and you can see the things I'm going to show on the screen. And be doing a little mixing in. Candace Owens, ridiculous. She gets out here and she spews all this right-wing, outright crap. But when you look at her situation, you find she was the victim of racism in the town she grew up in, and sued and won money. And then the white people came in and said, we can use her. And she was willing to allow herself to be used by these people. And she sits around, she spews that same garbage that Donald Trump spews, and then she plays the victim. It's amazing how many white folks are sitting out here now talking about they're feeling discriminated against. How are you? That's ridiculous. But then they'll say the Democrats are attacking them. And then you'll have like a Kanye West putting on a hat, Make America Great Again hat, and kissing Donald Trump's ass and saying, I feel empowered. I didn't have a daddy. And, he might as well told the man that he was his daddy. And then people get mad when we say, that's not our representative. Oh, well, he's asking for changes. Donald Trump don't give a damn what Kanye's asking for. So all of a sudden, Kanye's going to get something done that thousands of black men who were 10 times more able to articulate the needs of the black community. Well, he's got followers. Okay, everybody's got followers. You got Taylor Swift out here. She got 112 million followers. She's throwing her name in the hat. You got Chance the Rapper. He's supporting. So now all of a sudden, entertainers are who we look for direction. Where they do that at? You don't see a lot of white folks saying, let's get Vanilla Ice to come out and go talk to the black president, get our needs heard. There's no such thing. We talked about last week. We talked about how the system works and how it works with the white people at the very top and how they control the middle ones. I call them middle management because the middle management are the ones that we're going to most likely deal with. See, the ones at the top, they like to keep their hands clean. They don't get their hands dirty. They get to pretend the most and project the image of this beautiful America that we live in. It's that middle management ones that they have, that they've promoted and put in position, that feel, and they are the ones that deal directly with you, and they only have one motive, to keep you beneath them, because it makes them feel on a certain level, because as long as I'm over these niggas, I'm cool. They may even marry a black person. And I still haven't got around to doing that show about I married a black, I can't be racist. They're the most racist. and it's an internal racist with those people. I've dealt with many of those people, and I tell them it would be very interesting to sit down and have a conversation with your spouse and detail the bull crap you get out here in the world to do to support the programs that your bosses tell you to implement. Oh, we can't be racist. No, it's not racist, you know. So what, we promoted a couple of our friends, and you waited for years, and okay, we'll give you this much. That's what bothers me about a lot of the black politicians. It's the ones that want to sit out here and try to direct you, political operatives or whatever, and tell you, okay, we got two bad people here. Take, for instance, the race for mayor. Pritzker is a underground racist. Ron is a above ground asshole. And these are your choices for mayor, and they want to convince you, well, let's see, let's vote for the one that's gonna give us something. Ain't neither one of us gonna get anything. That's not winning. That's compromising. That's like somebody comes up and snatches your food and then says, you want a few of these fries. And you were like, oh, good, because I was starving and I don't know how I was going to eat. Instead of fighting for your whole meal, for what you deserve, for what you work for, you sit around and accept some bullshit. You accept the fries. You're not going to get up and punch this person in the face or fight for what you deserve. I'm going to open the lines a little bit tonight. 872-267-2552. We haven't done the phones in a while. 872-267-2552. I wrote some notes down here. I got it on the screen, but you know I'm going a little blind here. I wrote down here deflections instead of reflections. There's a reason that they don't want to discuss reparations. Reparations means we're going to make you whole. We're going to admit to something. And then if we ever admit to it, then we actually have to pay for it. But they're not. The bill that's out there has none. It doesn't even say anything about reparations. It says we want to study to see if slavery had any type of impact on the black people of today. Because the way they look at it, the past 53 years, since they gave us all these rights, we should have caught up. So the 400 years prior, forget about it. Everybody's equal now. But how are you equal when your group is the only group that was disenfranchised? So all the other people that come over here and across the border and look at you, oh, well, we're all equal. This is equal. They're not looking at slavery, Jim Crow, and the nonsense that we had to deal with and getting beat down in the streets, because none of that reflects any of them. All they know is, hey, thanks for taking that hit for us. So it's not only the white people that abuse us like that, it's also the other cultures that come here. And they take advantage of every program that you'll find if you try to partake in. It's hard as hell to get involved in any of the programs. Because like I said, right after 1965, when we got all our rights, 1966, they came out with the immigration bill, giving them rights and citizenship. Incredible. And so blacks, you can't be racist now. You can't be racist against these people because these people deserve the same thing. Their kids can't be stopped at the border. Okay, who give a fuck about people at the border? You haven't done right by us. If I'm standing in line for an hour and then you decide, let's let these people come and stand in front of you. No, hell no. Okay, well, this baby's sick. Okay, well, my baby been sick a while. Black people have to get to that point of putting us first. Stop the madness, the nonsense. We talked about it last week. It must be two sets of Christians in this country. Because there's one set of Christians that are comfortable with doing what the hell they want to do and going right to church and saying, thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to oppress people, but at the same time, still push my agenda forward. The Negroes have been well trained in their scriptures, so they will forgive. Because we do. We practice those scriptures, and we going to turn the other cheek, and we going to forgive. And it's sad. I mean, it's not sad that we're Christians. It's sad that for some reason we believe Christians can't fight. I tell people all the time, prayer is a call to action. You just don't pray and then don't do anything. You should be praying for strength to battle these devils. So when Malcolm and all these other people were talking about devils, there are real devils in this world. And by any means necessary, they believe in it. Like I always say, the white folks will shut this world down before they let you get on top. And you can walk up in there with 20 degrees. I got friends that are doctors, doctorate degrees, master degrees, engineers. It's tons. That is individual success. And they'll all sit and tell you about their trials and tribulations of trying to come up in corporate America. And some make it. And they make it regardless. They make it because they embrace that world to a certain degree. You have to put on your tap shoes in order to make it in corporate America. I just left corporate America after 25 years. Never got a promotion. Isn't that amazing? The people that know me know I know my stuff. I'm on top of my stuff. But I don't wear tap shoes. So the amazing part is I can't get promoted in 25 years, but they would bring people in that didn't do any work, but they were white and they were part of the team. You're promoted after 4 years. You're promoted after 2 years. And then they'll send those same people to you and say, we're going to help you get promoted. And you just laugh at them because you're like, really? So I was here 12 years before you, and all of a sudden you are being sent in by the devils to help me. It's an amazing thing, and I understand, that's one of the things I say when people say, well, what's the ask for reparations? The first ask is free education for African Americans for the next 200 years at least. Well, that's going to be too difficult to find out. No, it's not too difficult to find out. It's about 44 million of us running around in America. If you don't want school, maybe you want training. If you've already gone to school, then money for your business, money for infrastructures. We want the same things that the Jews were given. The Jews were given land. They were given machinery. They were given training. They were given the opportunity to reestablish themselves in their land. So, when they talk about the Jewish Holocaust was worse than that, well, we're not going to compare death. When we talk about slavery, we're not talking about slavery just here in America. Over 65 million black people were brought across those seas and dropped off in those islands in South America. Only maybe 14% landed in North America. The majority were spread out. But at the same rate, those are still our people. So we don't say just slavery in America. We say slavery, period. And you're talking about centuries of time. Holocaust was what? You can say 7 to 10 years, however you want to break it down. But they got reparations. they got an opportunity to rebuild. If you don't give a people a chance to rebuild, to reestablish themselves, then you are intentionally setting out. There was actually an article from a couple of years ago where they talked about it in the UN, but the UN is under America's thumb because, like Trump always says, and they were all on TV, because the UN said, well, America should pay some reparations to black people. And all Trump and them turned around and said, what? Oh, we going to remember you. We going to remember you. When you need some help, and when you need some help, and when you need some help, yeah, we got something for y'all. So everybody's in debt to America. So you got to turn your eye away. Like America's going to turn their eye away to that guy that went over to Saudi and got killed, that reporter. Why he went back, I had no idea. But he went back and he's dead. And the prince is playing it off like I didn't know nothing. I brought him over here in peace. It was these other people that came and did this. And America don't want to say nothing about it. They're like, hey, we ain't trying to mess up these relationships. We got too much going on, the money. So they keep us distracted by racism. This is the big ploy that everybody needs to understand. We're distracted by racism, and they're over here moving, making deals, building up. How many people have gone to a building, a black corporation building? Have ever seen a black corporation building? Are there any black corporation buildings in the hood? All those government office buildings that do exist in the neighborhoods, are those black owned, or is that just your government managing people? That's what your government does. It manages people. I'm just like everybody else. I'm wondering about the solutions. We can't do anything if we can't come together and at least build among ourselves. How do we expect to compete in a world that is slowly passing us by? Where I opened my shop on 71st Street, no computer shops exist. And then you find out a lot of people don't even have computers. Oh, I got my phone here. I said, okay, so you're typing term papers on your phone? You're doing research on your phone? I don't get it. You're printing on your phone. We got the wrong understanding that we're giving to our kids, and a lot of our kids, when I hear people say I'm on the B honor roll, I'm like, what the hell is that? Where they do that at? Other nationalities, you must get the best grades all times. I got a friend, her father wrote code for the space shuttle. She's an attorney. One day she was in the office crying because I guess in China you have to pass the California bar or the New York bar to be considered an acceptable attorney in China. Her father told her she was a disgrace. She's already an attorney, but she's a disgrace in their eyes because she hasn't passed the New York bar exam. When I went to DeVry, there was a teacher, Mr. Jen. He brought his 12-year-old son there. He says, my son has already finished this program and another program. He says, guess what? My son won't have to look for a job. They'll be looking for him. But we spend all our time BSing and bullshitting, looking for fashions, looking for something to smoke, looking for something to drink, looking for somebody to talk about. And ain't none of that shit moving us forward. We got too much acceptance going on in the neighborhood. The neighborhoods are the way they are because we allow them to be like that. Like I was talking to some young men that, they stand out on the block. If this was a white neighborhood or these were white stores, do you think you would be able to stand here? The answer was no. Why not? Because they're going to call the police and they're not going to tolerate it. So why do we tolerate it? We can't have it both ways. You have to understand how the system works and how it's working against us and how it's been working against us, because we are participants in our own destruction. We know the shooters, we know the killers, we know the dope dealers. Ain't no point in pretending, and you fucking up your life doesn't give you the opportunity to fuck up other people's lives. Where they do that at? No. Okay, sorry you went to jail. Sorry, that's fucked up. So now you gonna get out here and destroy people? No, can't really go for that. Well, I just need a chance. Okay, here's a chance to start your own business, get some training, take a shitty job. These are the chances you get, but you make the decision, I don't want to. I want to sell drugs. I want to kill babies. I want to kill old folks. I want to kill innocent folks. And I want everybody to accept it because look how fly I am. Look at my shit. My shit tight. Look at my rims. Fuck it, shit. Them motherfuckers shouldn't have even been out there. And we praise it. We say, hey, Nino. You understand? People eating from that, it becomes a condition. It becomes like a sickness, like a cancer that eats at the neighborhood. And when you talk to the older people and they're like, I can't be out here too late. The people worry about their kids. You don't see kids playing in vacant lots and things like you used to. But you go to other neighborhoods and you see all that shit, and then you be like, man, that's great over there. I wish my kids go there and do something. So you got all these black people running away to different cities and things like that. But you know what the problem is? The problem is you're taking the problem with you because most of the time it's the people in your family. You know your son's a fucking menace to society, and you take him to another place because well, he may get killed up here. Maybe he'll see something different. Maybe he will. I'm not down on brothers, but I'm down on people that continue to waste time and justify the wasting of time. Time is your most valuable resource, and we are running out of time as black people in America. We want to sit around and pretend like these politicians give a fuck about us, give a damn about our condition. They give a damn about one thing, getting in office and doing what they want to do. Like I say, here in Chicago, Pritzker works with Madigan. Madigan is as they call him, the king. Has all these contracts and everything, and when you walk through the loop and all these other big projects, you see maybe one, maybe two black people. Tons of Mexicans. Most of the projects you see in the neighborhood don't have any black folks on them, but it's a black neighborhood and there's no black people working on it. Then they'll say, well, there's no one qualified. Oh, really? Maybe that's because you closed all the trade institutions that were doing the training. Okay, well, that's not our fault because we still got them in our neighborhoods. See, in the white neighborhood, resources still exist. So they'll take these resources and use them for what they want. Now, there's a community center down where I open my shop at, and I've gone in there twice and asked to speak to the director or whatever, have them call me back. Because I've noticed it seems like white folks are running that. And I got, maybe it's just me. I just have a suspicion about white folks being over things in black neighborhoods. I always feel like there's an agenda to actually slowly convert that into what they want. Like I said, I went over to the cultural center, the South Shore Chamber of Commerce when I first got there, and I was like, how are the people supposed to know what goes on in this building? There's not even a sign on the building. I said, maybe I'm just nosy. But I looked at the building and said, something's going on in this building. I need to know about it. And I've directed other people to a young lady who's like, well, I want to start a business. Okay. Now they got a sign on the business. I said, read the sign. The sign says, Henry English Entrepreneurial Business Center. It's the Chamber of Commerce up in there. They help you to, from A to Z, with you starting your business, getting the funding for your business, business plans and all that. Know who I see every morning at 7:30 going in that building? White folks. Know who keeps walking by that building? Black folks. You know what they're going to say when they get the grants and the money and open the stores in their neighborhood? Shit, y'all had the same opportunity as us. We didn't see y'all in here. And the black people that work at these different institutions, they not going to come out and tell you anything. They've been directed. Just sit at your desk and do your job, nigga. If these niggas really are serious about something, then they'll find a way to come into this building and get it done. That's how it works. And I talk to people every day. I'm talking to people on the street, and I'm pointing at that building every day. Oh, you got problems with your record? Here, take this sheet, brother. Right down the street. It's my brother's keeper. They doing expungements. They on the third one. You can get your stuff expunged. Oh, you ain't got your GED? Look at here, brother. Look, take this sheet right down here at this corner. They're doing free GED classes. Oh, well, I need some funding for school. Well, right there, brother, the Black College Fund. So all these buildings reside right around where my store is at. But people will tell you, oh, you're in the dangerous part of the city. No, not really. The mindset is dangerous. I actually was in a meeting with the barber that used to work with the young man that was shot. And I got a chance to speak to him because he's like right down the street too. And you got a lot of positive people in the neighborhoods that want to see a change, that want to work with change. But it always goes back to the local politicians and how much help that they're trying to give or they're willing to give or what they're trying to promote. Because where I'm at now, the promotion is home of the new Obama library. So the golf course is getting redone thanks to Obama and Tiger Woods. I met a lady from the Hyde Park transition team, whatever that means. They've got security systems that go up and down 71st Street, stopping in all the stores, making sure everything's okay, asking you to report any type of activity. So they're terraforming, kind of like in Aliens, where they're sending these things in, resources and things in to start the setup. Then you notice the white folks sprinkling through, being those pioneers to be the first in the neighborhoods. Then they're buying property in the neighborhoods. If you don't own a home or the building, then you can't be forced out. White folks don't spend a whole lot of money with black businesses, so I encourage the other businesses to say, hey, the healthy neighborhood and supporting the neighborhood is a way to get the neighborhood to support you and slow down that encroachment of, I don't want to call it white movement, but where I live at, pretty much most of the white folks around here have skated too. They always have a plan. From the top on down, there's a plan. And don't let people divide you between Democrats and Republicans. They all on the same team. Just like when you go and report something to HR in your company, HR works for the company. All they're going to do is go and talk to that person, your boss, and tell them how they're going to handle you. That's what your government said. This is how we're going to handle black people. And we don't care what they complain. We got enough black people around here that listen to our rhetoric and our bullshit, and they get to spend a couple of dollars and be comfortable. And so they'll side with us because We'll sell them on that American dream shit. We'll sell them that, no, America's not the problem. It's your people that are the problem. And if you think like we think and behave like we behave, then you'll be okay. And we buy into it and we eat it and we sit around and we throw away not only the possibility of what could be for us, but the possibility for our kids. Think 100 years ahead. None of us gonna be here. What's it gonna look like in America 100 years from now? I hate to even think about it. J.B. Pritzker had some of his campaign workers, the black campaign workers, sue him, file a lawsuit because they said there was racism there. The people will tell you politics is the way to go, but how is it the way to go when even at the level of a campaign worker, you're feeling the effects of racism? You don't fight racism by participating in racism. You fight it by developing our own strategies. So if you got to work with these people to get the money, then work with the people to get the money. But don't work with the people to continue to foster the beliefs and ideas that these people are putting out here. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. You don't think that's incredible? You don't think these people were so upset with dealing with Obama for 8 years, acting like the man did something bad when he saved the economy, did what he had to do, set it on the right foot, and now you got Donald Trump taking credit for everything that's going on. He's not going to talk about the 6 years prior where there had been growth, steady growth and everything in the economy since Obama fixed it. No, he tells you this man was terrible. He did nothing. I came in, the white hope, the white God, and everything's beautiful now. And you sit there with your two good eyes and you say, I can't lie, this guy's doing great. It's because of the things that Obama did, not the things that Trump did. And he's out here, he's making his deals and making money. Hey, look at your 401k. If he's stealing money, I might as well get that in my account too. That's what America does. They steal money. I guess you got to steal money with them while you can, and then keep it moving. But we can't keep ignoring all the black elephants. It's gotten to a point of you just look and you start to get depressed. Like, wow, really? Is that what we're doing? I ain't mentioned nothing about not trusting these people or none tonight. We got to learn to trust each other, love each other, be about the business of being black and not being Black American or Afro-American. Take all those labels out and just say, I'm black, you black. Let's respect each other. Let's work together. Let's build something. It's called nation building. A lot of people just miss that term. We're going to get out here tonight. We went a little over, but sometimes, you just get into it. I'm going to end the show tonight with this piece from Malcolm about supremacy, white supremacy. And we're going to catch you all back. We're going to start doing some daily things from the store. I'm going to take my camera down to the store, and then we'll do a daily thing about the topics of the day, so we don't have to try to put it all into one show. So on that note, love, peace. So we out of here.
Malcolm, the Civil Rights Bill is with us now. What will it mean?
Well, I'm not very excited at all over the Civil Rights Bill, primarily because it's a law, and the Supreme Court desegregation decision was also a law that was handed down by the highest court in the land 10 years ago, and they haven't been able to implement it even here in New York City or any other city in the North, much less try and implement it in the South. And if they can't implement this single law that was handed down by the highest court in the land, I'm very doubtful that they'll be able to enforce any of the laws that are now on the books in this recently passed civil rights legislation.
You don't think it's even a step, then?
No, I don't think it's any step. The Constitution of the United States automatically is supposed to be sufficient to protect anybody who's born here who's a citizen. And if the Constitution includes all of those who are born here, I don't see why additional legislation is needed when it comes to the rights of the Negro. If the Polish people and the Hungarians and the Russians and others who come here as refugees don't need civil rights legislation in order to be recognized as citizens, why, it's a farce to make Negroes think that civil rights legislation is needed to get us recognition as citizens.
Well, what?
Hate. It's not hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated. It's true. It's not hate to say that the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in this country, came up with a hypocritical desegregation decision 9 years ago, which they haven't enforced yet. That's not hate. That's truth.
I don't advocate any kind of hate.
But there's a lot of talk that sounds very much like it.
No, I think that the guilt complex of the American white man is so profound until when you begin to analyze the real condition of the black man in America, instead of the American white man eliminating the causes that create that condition, he tries to cover it up by accusing his accusers of teaching hate. But actually, they're just exposing him for being responsible for what exists.
Well, that's it.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
now, if you're woman, ain't no revolutionary should persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. Should be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them bull clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be saved. Are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you injustice is
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
didn't. Folks